Regular attendance in class is an important factor to a student's success in school. An integral part of the learning experience is the interaction between students and teachers. One indicator for success is good school attendance. Francis Howell North sets our attendance goals based on the standards of the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. DESE measures attendance based on 90% of students being at school 90% of the time. In order to achieve 90% attendance this year, you cannot miss more than 4 days per quarter, 8 days per semester, or 16 days total. School attendance is a law. Parents or guardians are required to send their students to school, and students below the age of 17 are required to be there. There is no difference between excused and unexcused absences when calculating your attendance. In order for an absence to be excused, a parent or guardian is asked to report their child's absence within 48 hours by sending a written note with the student upon his return to school or with a fax, email, or phone call. Excused absences might be due to illness, doctor's appointments, or a death in the family. Unexcused absences may result from failure to notify the attendance office, oversleeping, traffic, car trouble, missing the bus, and other things may not be considered excused absences, and having an unexcused absence in Infinite Campus could result in discipline. Students arriving to school after 7:40 a.m. must sign in at the attendance office. A written note, an email, or a phone call from a parent stating the reason for lateness must be presented within 24 hours in order for it to not be considered unexcused. Students who drive to school and are late more than once may have parking privileges revoked. Tardy students are disruptive to any class. Therefore, students are expected to arrive on time. If for some reason a student is detained by a teacher and administrator, they should receive a pass in order to enter class. The rules for tardy are listed on the slide above. Tardiness for 3, 4, and 5 will be 1 detention. Tardy 6 and 7, 2 detentions. Tardy 8 and 9, a Saturday. And your 10th tardy will be a meeting with parents and additional discipline. If the tardiness is more than 5 minutes to any class, this will be considered a truancy and have additional consequences. When parents know ahead of time that students are going to miss for more than 3 days, they can set up a prearranged absence. Although this absence is not encouraged and requires approval, some circumstances are unavoidable. Prearranged absences have a form that go along with them. The work is given prior to the student leaving for the 3 days, and the work is due upon a student's return. Making up work for other absences is different than a prearranged absence. Upon return, students should ask about the work that they missed. A general rule is that students have 1 day per days missed to make up their work. You should always check teacher websites or other forms that teachers use to notify students of work. If you are going to be gone for an extended period, parents or guardians can call to request homework to be sent home. When a student might miss more than 3 weeks because of a condition, there is a homebound application because homebound instruction is available to students when the nature of their condition makes them unable to attend school. Students needing to leave campus during the day must have permission from the attendance office. There is a sign-out procedure. Students will not be excused from school for the following reasons. They forgot their homework, they forgot other school belongings, forgot sports equipment, forgot gym clothes, forgotten lunch money, forgotten lunch, IDs, etc. Students are not to leave the school building or school grounds during the school day without permission. This includes during lunch periods and during passing. Students are not permitted in the parking lot during the day. Anyone who leaves the school building or campus after arrival may be considered truant and be subject to disciplinary action. Students must stop at the security guard post and show a pass in order to leave campus. Students that are part of the work program will obviously be allowed to leave school. However, on days when you are able to go to school, you should be able to go to work. If there are days when you are too sick to go to school, you should not be at work. You must notify your teacher and your employer of absences. Failure to adhere to work program rules might result in a drop from the program. There are also students who attend Lewis and Clark Tech School either in the morning or afternoon. Those students will either be coming to school later or leaving school early and are required to be in attendance at FHN if they were in attendance at Lewis and Clark, and are required to be in attendance at Lewis and Clark if they were in attendance at FHN. Students can be excused from Lewis and Clark or FHN if there are special events happening at the other school. The contact for this is Mrs. Rachel Faulkner in the guidance office.